he would have said, yep, this is where I make my move towards that final 5. This is a big heat for Jordy. He's up against a couple more big rail surfers. Frederico Morais of Portugal. 2 previous events here, 2 quarterfinals. Solid stuff from him. Matthew McGillivray getting his first shot at a CT event here at Bells. Heat 7, the opening round, sees Jordy Smith getting off to a quick start. Big section lining up for the former winner, who won the Bell back in 2017. Doesn't find the connection through to the inside. He's up against Frederico Morais and Matthew McGillivray. Prior to that, a couple of 17ths to kick off the year. So sitting in equal 23rd with a really tough group of surfers, all after a big result here. So it'll be fun to see how Fred goes. Here he is on his first wave here at Bells in 2022. And it's a nice hook off the top. Beautiful cut down. Just always keeps those rails so clean. And now goes searching down the line for a big finish. This wave really starting to flatten out. Keeps that board moving and just can't make that connection. Just lost a bit of energy there.
So we watch the replay with Freddie. So like Jordy, a very tall surfer, he's got a lot of leverage, and when they really lean into a turn, they get a lot of spray, and Freddie's doing really well on this one, carving back into the whitewash. He's quite clinical with the way he goes about putting his manoeuvres together. Very clean, very smooth in between the transitions.
Just hunting under his priority, having a think about this one. Lines up this first section. Love the way he banks into that bottom turn a couple of times there. Nice hook off the face there with a bit of foam to deal with. Can make it tricky to engage that rail, but no troubles for Jordy. He sinks it that deep. Gets through all that foam onto that green wall once again. And just looking for a bit of a backup number here. Early stages in this heat, but he just wants to find some rhythm out here at the moment. Just a 2.33 on his first wave, waiting on the number to drop for that one. On track at the moment, he is Frederico Morais, also on track to progress through this heat. 5.33 in his opener, and this wave looking pretty good too, just pushing it a little hard there. Matthew McGillivray up now and looking for his first score in this heat. Matty always extends through those big frontside carves. Nice big section to play with there. Does well, gets the fins free. Great control. And goes looking for a little bit more down the line, but doesn't get much out of it. But that was the one big turn that will help him turn in a reasonable number there.
Yeah, just a little bit caught behind when it's onshore like this. So watching the replay here, you can see just a slight fumble there, and it put him behind that section there. He was driving down the line, but always a little bit behind. Started to open up there. Got a nice carve and connected well with that one. Kicked the fins out. Back into control, but there's sort of an uneasy urgency into the way he surfed that wave for me. In contrast to when we look at Jordy's next wave and just how much flow and composure he had. But that was a very spectacular turn there from Matty, and that would have felt good.
And on the outside now, Jordy on wave number 3. Nice section here. Digs in, stomps on that back foot. Now out onto that open face. Has really trimmed down, worked on his core strength and elasticity these last couple of seasons. Still riding some pretty big boards. They kind of have to be, because he's got so much power. Rolling through to the inside at the moment. The 34-year-old drives up into this final section. Nice clean little re-entry there.
This was Jordy. Nice and low for such a tall guy. He gets a lot of spring out of his thighs. Keeps it nice and low, but so silky smooth in his approach to the Bells Bowl here. Just nice, effortless wraps. Still sending so much spray. It's almost like he does his turn, then resets, and then goes again, but never loses speed. So here we go, watching Freddie. This is the entire wave. Opens up with a beautiful carve. Straight back down to the bottom and up again. Slams the lip and then comes through this little sleepy section after the Bells Bowl. Starts to fill up here. Bit of transition work. Keeps it going. Knows there's another 1.5 points on this wave. Drives through to the inside. Slams it again. And just pulls out.
Welcome back to the show. The opening round well and truly underway. Heat 7 out in the lineup, and Matthew McGillivray trying to get himself out of third position with this ride. Gets that first hit in, that vital first connection to the lip or carve into the bowl. Matty on his way, needs to connect this one through nicely. Loads up, springs off that lip, just loses his back foot and can't ride out.
But as we see, Matty McGillivray, you can see just from the outset, he's looking a bit desperate, looking a bit frantic. That was not a bad little projection floater down here, but sensibly, just waiting for this wave to wall up again. But just kind of catching a few edges, catching a couple of rails, and really just didn't drive through that turn at all. He's just looking a bit off, isn't he? His timing's off. He doesn't look entirely comfortable on his board, but this man, on the other hand, he's connecting.
Yeah, starting to find it. Frederico Morais trying to get rid of a 4.57 and replace it with something solid as he rolls through to the inside now. Still a close heat and no huge score locked in just yet, as Fred just brings this one through to the inside, starting to pick up some speed now. Nice float to finish.
Leg burner. Absolute leg burner. He's got a bit of work to do, but Freddie, on the other hand, starting to open up here. Very rarely does this man make a mistake. He's connecting all these turns together, driving off that back foot. Just coming down into this inside section, and you can see the wave flatten out, and then it'll go again. So it's reset time. A little foam hit comes through, and that was a nice projection floater to finish things off. The legs are burning. The lactic acid is building up.
Leclerc getting the victory, setting the fastest ever time up there, and smashed the field.
Yeah, he was
a little in the toilet, but we'll see if he can pull it out and clean things up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, here we go. Matty's going to sneak one on the inside. No, quick in and out. But I think when you look at the performance of these three surfers overall, Jordy is probably surfing 10% faster. The shape of the face is not too dissimilar to say the low is right. Like, it's so playful and rippable, and even has some super steep sections, as we see Matty on a smaller inside one.
Yeah, really needs to dig into this turn. He's got some big airs he can go to if he can find the right kind of section, but he's not going to do it on this wave. Just over 3 minutes to go. Let's hear from Mick Fanning after his wildcard performance earlier today.
Absolutely, and it really tapped into the essence of humanity, isn't it? You want to help your fellow man, and any way we can help.
Jordy Smith is trying to get himself in a better position here. He wants to up the heat score total, push that requirement higher. Just kind of cruising on this one at the moment, hoping for something steep on the inside. Just 15 seconds to go. He might just hang on to this second spot, but he'd love to throw something big at the end here. Loading up, has that big full rotation air he can go to. Can't find the ramp though, so he's just going to glide his way through to the shore break.
Great performance from Freddie Morais there. Just, I think, on wave choice, as you mentioned, it was the thing that got him home.
Jordy looked like he was riding a keel fin 20 through that ride. But Morais getting the victory. He's powering on through.